first thing we're going to do is I've pulled the data that you guys filled in from our survey right here. So this is the data that we've received so far. This is supposed to be everybody who's taking prime at the high school. We have a significant number of people that haven't submitted yet because we only have 21 data points. So yeah, you gotta get that in. We're gonna use this data in our projects at the end, so it's really important that we get all the information in. So what do we notice? Yeah, a lot of right-handed. Yeah, we have a lot of people who ride the bus. So we can see all kinds of stuff here. A lot of people who ride the bus. Did everybody follow instructions? Yeah, somebody bikes to school. And they like cycling. That's their favorite sport listed over here. So they all bought bikes. That's a very unique individual because they're cycling, favorite bike, or they bike to school, and they're left-handed. That's kind of cool. It's a very unique individual. We love a unique individual. That could be somebody in one of the other prime classes. I'm not saying it's somebody in here. Notice how nobody's name's attached to any of these. They didn't even collect your names. Okay. So here's all those ranking things that you guys did. Which foot's longer, some of our measurement stuff. We can start to see as we get further and further over in the list, fewer and fewer fields filled in. Somebody who put IDK for most things. For real. I'm like, it's the worldwide survey, y'all. That means people over in China can pull this and see your IDK. Superpower. We've got some telepathies. Super strength, freeze time, invisibility. Very cool ones. Rather be happy or rich. So all kinds of stuff. So this is our data. So what I want us to look at is I want to see which ones of these are quantitative, which ones of these are qualitative. So what we remember. We have at least one of each on the screen right now, so I'm going to keep it here. So what's something that's quantitative or qualitative or categorical? The sport. So the sport one, this one is categorical. That is an excellent example of a categorical data set. Sorry, I was using a different word. What's something on this page that is quantitative? Arm span. What's up? Yeah, let me write your pass down. Okay, so we have both quantitative and categorical data here. We could do that for absolutely every field. Every field is one or the other. So every one of these fields is one or the other. And we are going to use this data in our projects. You guys are going to be case studies in the projects that we do at the end of this chapter. So if you are one of my many people that have not submitted to our data set, please do so, like this weekend. If you need, the measurement stations are still up. And we'll have time at the end where you can finish out measurements if you need to. But please make sure you submit that, because right now we only have 21 data points, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them is the same dude 3 times who didn't follow instructions. Because he has his height listed as 5'11", when it's all supposed to be in centimeters. Okay, so please make sure we read instructions. Make sure we pay attention to which data set we're putting our information into. Yes, dear. Thank you. Okay, so that's our data from here. We're going to go back to our main. So So we've noticed a few things, we've wondered a few things. We will look at that data more in a couple of weeks. You got a couple more weeks to get stuff put in. After fall break, we'll really start using our data to crunch those numbers. So make sure you get your stuff input into our data set by the end of fall break. All right, there we go. Got your marker, Maya. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at numbers 4 and 5 in your book. And it should be page 61, I think. I don't know where this year's book went. Not that one. There it is. Yeah, 61 is right. We're going to do pages 61 and 62 today. That's what we're going to talk about. So what we're going to decide is we're going to decide the best method of sampling. And honestly, there's never going to be a perfect sample because humans are imperfect beings and we can only get so far. So what we're going to ask is we are estimating the average number of hours that students here at our school spend studying in each week. Which of the following is the best method of sampling? Which means we need to know what our population is. What population are we looking for? What is the whole group we're studying? Yeah, students in Pike. This is our population. Yeah. I'll take care of it. So that's our population. What we need to do from there is look at each of these and see if it takes a fair sample. Remember, a fair sample means everybody has an equal opportunity. So let's read through these. We could go to the library and ask everybody in there how much they study. We could send an email asking everybody how much they study. We could ask our friends what we think is a representative sample of our friends. We could do an anonymous survey of everybody in this class. Or we could stop random people in the hallway and ask them how much. So what do we think? Are there any you want to rule out right away? D. Why? Yeah, our class, like, what grade level are we? All of us are seniors, right? We're only seniors. So freshmen have no chance to be in the study. We have to have a chance for everybody to be in the study. So I'm with you. D is not a great option. C. Why C? This is only your friends. And even if we think we have chosen a good random sample, one thing humans are notoriously bad at is actual randomness. To the point that even like your music players, when they hit shuffle, they have to turn the shuffling down because people didn't think it was truly random because they were seeing patterns in it. But it was really random, so they had to unrandomize the random setting. So people are bad at random. Very, very bad at random. That's why we let computers do random numbers or dice. I will use dice frequently. People are very bad at random. And you guys have like those lines at the bottom you can write there. I just don't copy the lines up here because it makes the text impossibly small. So you don't have to squeeze things in between. I just do. But they give you lots of writing space. All right, what else can we rule out up here? Which one? A. Why can we rule out A? If you're in the library, you're probably already studying. People in the library are often studying. I'm not saying all the time. There's people that go in there to avoid stuff. But more often than not, people in the library are already studying. I'm coming. Look through the window. You'll see me coming. Thank you, dear. All right. Alrighty. Studiers. Grammar is a construct. I'm making up the word studiers. So people in the library are probably already studying. So we're left with B and E. What do we think? You want eliminate E or are we picking E? Eliminate E? Why? We're only asking people in the hall. Did everybody walk the hall? I mean, it depends on where we stand, but it's not awful. I was going to say, email is also not awful. Neither one of these are terrible. But how many of you actually check your school email on the regular? Yeah, there's like 2 of us. I do. 3 of us that check our school email on the regular. So I'd say probably the email, that's maybe a maybe. I'll just put a single slash through it, not a full X. Not many people actually check their school email on the regular. And those that check their school email on the regular, probably a little bit more on the ball organization-wise. So honestly, probably our best option here, also the most practical option, is going to be E, stopping people in the hallways. And yes, we have to pick our location carefully. If we stand in D hallway, we probably get a good sample. If we are over right in front of the freshman center lunchroom, maybe we'd have a slightly more sample. But we could move a few times and ask people in the hallways in between classes, so it's not just the people that are not in class, so it's in between classes. It's the best of our choices. More often than not, when we do these kinds of studies, you guys know where they show up when we do these kinds of surveys here? What class do you ever take surveys in? English. Because who takes English class? Everybody takes English. All 4 years. English is where we wind up sending the surveys. And they won't necessarily go to every single teacher. Sometimes only one class will take the survey and it's doing a sampling of English classes. Snap. But that's why those things are like voting for prom court or homecoming court. Those will show up in English classes because everybody takes English classes. Okay. So that's why you only get those surveys in English, because I see very random groups of people. Alrighty. So let's look at number 5. This is, again, is it a good sample? Is this a good way to pick people? What kind of sample is it? And which one's best? So here we have a class that has 12 girls and 10 boys. They're picking 3 people from the list of 22 humans. Grab a dry erase. So they've got this list. I'm going to drop the chalkboard. On their paper, they've got our list. So option A, option 1, is to just take our first 3. What kind of sample is that? If I just take the top 3 on the list, do you remember what it's called? It's convenience. So easy for me to just circle the top 3. So the first 3 names on the class roll, these are a convenience sample. Is it a good sample? Does everyone in the class have equal opportunity to be in the sample? If your last name starts with a Z, are you very likely to be in the sample? I mean, shoot, even a B, I probably wouldn't. I got some classes with 5 A last names. So, like, I wouldn't be in the sample. So that's convenient sample. Not great. But it's okay. But it's not great. How about I ask the first 3 people? Or I ask for 3 people to help. What kind of sample is that? It's a volunteer sample. Volunteer samples aren't terrible, so we can leave that one in consideration, but I'm going to say we're probably going to not use the number 1. How about number 3? We're going to place the names in a hat. Mix it up, and we're going to pull 3 names. What is that one? That's a random sample. And then how about if I just pick the first 3 people to walk through the door? What kind of sample is that one? It's not random. If it's the first 3 people that walk in the door, it's convenience. That's another convenience. It's just a different kind of convenience. I'd have the most time to talk to them. It's another convenient sample. Convenient samples, while helpful, are very rarely the best choice. In fact, I cannot think of a single time when a convenient sample would be the best choice. So, which of those would probably be better at getting a representative sample? The volunteer or the random? Random. If it's possible to do a random sample, random is going to be your best option. So random is our best option. It is fairest of them all. It's like Snow White. It is the fairest of them all. It's an equal chance for everybody to be selected for this panel. Now, everybody might not want to be selected for this panel. So you might use the volunteer so that, only people who will actively participate do it. But as far as truly fair, random's the way to go. Okay? So we're going to start working with practicing identifying those things, identifying what kind of sample we're taking, if it's a good sample, if it's a representative sample. Think of our population, what it is we're looking at. Does everybody have a fair chance to be in it? Okay? So what we have is the first homework for the chapter is based on that. What is your population? What is your sample? Is it representative? So that's Unit 8, Homework 1. It is, I believe, also the next page in your book. So if you need scratch paper to write things down or anything like that, I think that next page it has those questions, but I think it might have more too. So you have to actually still do the Canvas homework. Okay, so work on that. You guys have the next 20 minutes. You could probably get it finished and not have to do anything over the weekend or next week. However, if you have not done the survey yet, please do so, because I'm going to be taking the measuring stations down after school today. So if you still need to take your arm span, if you need to take your height, if you need to take the foot length thing, do so today, please, because otherwise you're going to have to find a centimeter measuring tape at home. So do the survey. I'll get in there and get the points in it that you guys submitted the pictures for today before I leave. I'm going to get everything updated and graded. Okay? So do the thing, work on the stuff, ask questions if you got them. Have a good weekend.